Well, welcome to the new year, renewed you. We are going to get started. So this is for you if you are ready to get clear on what you're committed to. You want to live out an extraordinary and powerful 2024, and you truly want to create the life you deserve. And you're excited to restore confidence and faith and trust in yourself, then you're in the right place. This is not for you. This is not for you if you're not able to or willing to look at what isn't working in your life. You're living your best life and you don't need a breakthrough. You don't value mindfulness. You don't value a growth mindset or health and well-being. That's what I'm all about, and that's what we're here for. And it's not for you if you don't have the capacity for failure, or you can't stand when things get a little bit messy, because sometimes we have to get messy in the process. So our journey together is going to look back over 2023 and highlight the year, and we're going to mine the year for all the goodness, and we're going to step into 2024. We're going to start 2024 with powerful, purposeful, lit up within kind of energy. So I hope y'all are in the right place. I'm super excited about this. This is something that we're going to journey through. This is something I do every single year. And this year, I just wanted to share it with you for free. So I'm Netty. I want to thank you so much for being here. I am a health coach. I'm a yoga teacher. I'm an author. And 5 years ago, I sat in the sweet seat of a multi-year Inc. 5,000 company with 2 toddlers under 2 and a brand new autoimmune disease diagnosis. And I had the burden of burnout. And I had some really difficult choices to make. I had to figure out where I was and define what was important to me so that I could decide where I was going with my life. So my faith, my health, my family, these are my top 3 values. And it turns out I'd abandoned myself and my values in pursuit of the hustle, and it left me bedridden. But today, I feel balanced, I feel energetic, I'm intentional about my living, I'm actually healthy, I'm not on any medicine despite my disease, and I can use my passions to confidently contribute at home and at work because of the lessons that my disease taught me and the healing gifts that God brought me through it all. And now I help women overcome their obstacles. Women that were where I was maybe 5 years ago, especially in the area of self-care. And I want to share some of those with you today. Does that sound good? Yeah. Okay, let's go. Just so you know, so thank you for giving me an opportunity to introduce myself. Just so you know, that this is just not me talking about me. I have a sweet testimonial from one of my clients, Leanne, and I ended up helping her throughout last year. And what she said was, thank you so much for playing a huge part of my 2022. And it was such a blessing for me to be called a huge part of her 2022, especially when it came to her faith and finding her self-worth and being able to trust herself. And I hope that we can do a little bit of that for you today. So step 1 of this journey is to acknowledge your achievements in 2023. It was actually mathematically impossible to get directions to a new destination if you don't know where you're starting from, right? The same can be true and said about your life. So in order for you to create a set of directions to the best year of your life yet, which is why we're here, you must know where you're starting from and where you want to go next. So let's take a powerful look back on your past year using some science-backed questions. You've grown in the last 12 months. You've changed, you've developed wisdom, maybe you've sharpened your intuition. So let's take that new growth and set yourself up for success in the new year. So maybe you're like me and you're kind of in some ways starting 2024 or about to start 2024 in some of the same ways that you started 2023 and you haven't hit all your goals. It's okay. We are going to move forward and set ourselves up for success today. So get your journals and pennies handy. We're going to start off on this journey. You're going to just set them to the side. We won't need them just yet. We're going to start with a meditation. So let's just begin with a few minutes of centering. Maybe you find yourself in a comfortable seat with a tall spine, and we want the grounding. So if you're sitting, maybe plant your feet flat on the ground, uncross your legs, your ankles. And once you're comfortable in your seat, just kind of sit up tall. Your spine is strong and long, but you're just relaxed around it. So not a forced seat, and maybe close your eyes or gaze gently or softly at the ground in front of you. Seal off your lips if you can, and breathe gently and quietly in and out of your nose. Slowly in and out of your nose. With every exhale, allow the weight of your body to release further down towards the ground. With every inhale, notice the opposing upward energy, like the lifting and the lightening in your spine. Maybe you're a little bit taller. Your exhales, release your shoulders, your hips, your legs towards the ground. And with your inhales, we'll feel a gentle lightness, like this gentle upward lifting. Just rest here for a few breaths, finding the balance between the grounding exhales, and the lifting inhales. And just really connect with your breath. Take some time to calm your mind and just fully open yourself. If you notice your brain's active, just know that your brain is meant to secrete thoughts. It's meant to keep you safe. That's what it's supposed to do. So the practice here is just notice the thoughts and acknowledge them, and then see if you can let them go without attachment, without judgment, without dissecting them, or even making them mean anything. See if you can see the thought, and then just let the thought go. And then reconnect with your breath. So in order to create a solid plan and where we want to go, we've got to get really real about where we're actually at. So in your mind's eye, we're going to roll through a quick evaluation just to see how you're doing in all the major arenas of your life. You're satisfied or unsatisfied. You can just stay comfortable in your grounding, open position, and I'll say what I call an arena, and you can mentally rate it 1 to 10. So 1, you're depleted. 10, you wouldn't change a thing. Let's start with health and wellness. On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rate yourself? Just a quick little gut check in your health and wellness. And then career. Your career, your money, or your school, if that's you, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself? We're just taking mental notes here. And relationships, love, connection, friendships, how would you rate yourself in the area of connection? And just a lot of compassion here, no self-judgment. We're just checking in. Fun, joy, happiness, play. How was your year? How are you right now in the area of fun, joy, happiness, or play? On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself? Purpose, spirituality, or meaning? You could stay as you are or slowly open your eyes, your gaze, and maybe grab your journal. And I'm going to walk you through some questions, and I want you to take as much time as you need with each. And feel free to write down your answers, or you can doodle about them, whatever works best for you. And you'll get this replay if you need more time in a given area. Okay, so you'll all get the replay if you're here today, or if you signed up and you're watching the replay. Feel free to pause at any time if I don't give you enough space. And now that you've gotten some perspective on where you're currently at, it's time to really be with and just sit with how this makes you feel. So let's get honest. Let's not sugarcoat anything, because that level of a realness will propel you to make some major changes if it's necessary for you. So how do you feel about where you are right now? Again, you can journal, you can write it down. I'm doing this with you. Whatever works best. I have my journal handy too. And then moving on, what are you committed to releasing in order to move forward? So after you journal about how you feel, really allowing yourself to consider what you need to release, to surrender, to let go of, or to move forward and evaluate powerfully this new year. What are you committed to releasing in order to move forward? I don't beat yourself up if you can't answer some of these questions. Sometimes this just means we're planting a seed, and the answer will come to us a little bit later as we create some more space for it. I'm going to go ahead and move on. Who would you be without the identities that you've been living with? So this is like a breaking out of the box situation, because identities and how we've built our life around our identities can be super strong. So sometimes it's about owning our story and breaking out of these limiting beliefs, these boxes we put ourselves in, that makes this question so powerful. So as you get to explore and step into this new year consciously, we're aware of what's limiting us and what's been calling us forward. So our identities can either hold us back, or they can be the key to stepping into the unknown with fierce readiness. So looking over this past year, what identities have you trapped yourself with? I'm shy, I'm too old, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not as good as this other person, or I'm not organized, I'm no good with money. What are these identities, these limiting beliefs that you're boxing yourself in with in this past year? And what new identities will you step into to create a powerful new year, like your powerful 2024? How can you replace what you're holding yourself back with in new identity? Releasing those limited beliefs. And then moving on, we're going to make a fearless list. So in our society, we aim for fearless, right? As if that's even possible. So here's the truth. Fear is for us. It can be an amazing teacher, a signpost for us to learn and evaluate from. But the trick is that we must face off with our fears. So like looking at our limiting beliefs and kind of opening the door a little bit to create space for something new can be really scary. So we must face off with our fears in order to activate our forward momentum. We have to. And when we face off with our fears, we can learn how to fear less. Okay. So let's face off with these little suckers that showed up in the past year. Yeah. Like, for example, I found or experienced fear around taking time out and making space for relaxation. So what did you experience fear around? What did you experience fear around? I'm going to continue with my example, but you can kind of like tune me out if you need to. I experienced fear around taking relaxation. Like I felt like I needed to earn it because I didn't want to seem lazy. And I was in total like people pleaser mode. Like I wanted to have others in my household. I didn't want them mad because stuff wasn't like put away or handled like I normally handle it. Like I had to go until I hit one of those areas of depletion that we just mentioned. Okay, so I experienced fear around relaxation because I was in people pleaser and perfection mode. And this fear is trying to teach me, what is this fear trying to teach you? It's trying to teach me how to truly honor my body when it needs downtime and let go of expectations of other people, expectations that they're putting on me or that I think they're putting on me at the expense of my own health. So my fear is trying to teach me, there's your sentence starter, your journal prompt. And one simple action I can take to move through this fear is, for me, that would be to let my partner know ahead of time that I need a break and maybe ask for help and his support and helping me like loosen my grip around that. I'm an Enneagram 2. I'm a helper. It's very hard for me to ask for help for my needs. So that's one way I could move through my fear. So what's one of yours? And you can have multiple. I experienced fear around because of this fear is trying to teach me something. And what's one simple action, super simple, that I can take to move through this fear? So we often tried to forget the more challenging times, don't we? The hard times that we've endured, but this is where the magic is. So this is where we're going to be like a little gangster here. Our breakdowns are the gateway to our breakthroughs. So let's look at all the things from this past year that didn't work. They didn't go to as planned. You got frustrated. You felt downright awful. We're going to look at these things for the lessons and the breakthroughs that they created for us. So for example, I have a breakdown when I realized that I couldn't ever find time for movement and I kept failing at my goals over and over again. And my breakthrough here, now that I'm reflecting on this, is that I was prioritizing stuff that wasn't even in alignment with my values. So I was actually living out of integrity with myself. So that breakdown can lead to a breakthrough. So what are you committed to doing so that these breakdowns don't repeat in 2024? Last week, my husband helped me point out that maybe working out wasn't so much of a priority as I was mentally saying it was. So I committed to movement as a priority every single day. I haven't missed a day since. And my rest days in there. So what are you committed to doing? So we don't repeat these in 2024. And if we get really, really honest, we all have patterns that we play out that simply aren't working for us anymore, right? I just said one of mine. So in order to truly take our lives to the next level, we have to acknowledge those patterns and break the insidious cycle. We have to. So I'm going to use the workout, the mindful movement that I just noticed. But for you, think back to the first memory you can recall where this pattern that you have showed up on repeat. So where did it come from? When did it start? Breakdowns lead to breakthroughs. That's why we're doing this. Can you think back? It doesn't have to be like in the past distance, like far away. It can just be like last week or last month or last year. Maybe it was even, you can see, like connect the dots back to when you were littler, younger. Now we want to really look at this thing and how has it held you back? What has this cost you? It's held you back, but what has this truly cost you? And here's the magic. So how can we reframe it? If breakdowns lead to breakthroughs, how can we reframe this pattern? What results could you experience? If we allow it to be a lesson, if we allow there to be purpose in the pain, what results could you experience? Okay, we have one more question before our next little meditation. So it's fairly easy to remember the hard times from this past year. But I want you to remember all the good stuff. And you know, when you were on fire, you couldn't be stopped, like these moments in our last year. So we're going to do a little shameless bragging and celebrate our wins together. Celebrating our wins, no matter how small, is what creates momentum. It's what creates more of them. So what worked in this past year? How did you get out of your own way and shine like you've never shined before? What ways of being did you step into? Here's a sentence starter if you want. What worked about how I showed up this past year is. I know you can think of something. Just one little thing, or maybe one huge thing. We're going to put down our pens. And let's create a highlight reel of 2023 that we might otherwise skip over or forget if we didn't bring it to life. So it's the small moments that add up to living a life worth living, right? The small moments add up to a life worth living is what I was trying to say. So let's get tall and comfy and open again. And if you're comfortable, maybe close your eyes. We'll take a nice big breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Maybe seal off your lips. Take a few more breaths. And truly take a look back at all the magic that you've lived through this year. So we'll start in January. And just go month by month, maybe just picking one thing each month, this highlight reel, like your Instagrammable moments. And just stay cozy and relaxed and open. Work your way, maybe winter, spring, summer, fall, and winter again. I'm going to ask you some questions. We're going to do a victory lap of the wins that you've achieved in this past year. And so just don't worry if you can't come up with something for a month or a season. Don't worry if you can't answer these questions right now. Maybe you can watch the replay, dive a little deeper. Just going to let it go if it doesn't come for you, okay? So one word to sum up your year. What is one word that can sum up 2023 for you? What was your biggest achievement in 2023? Did you cultivate any new relationships? Did you make any really smart decisions? Can you think of any really smart decisions you made for yourself? What did you let go of? What were your favorite purchases? Did you have any purchases that you made in 2023 that were really meaningful to you? What did you learn about yourself? Did you overcome any obstacles? Make sure to stay with your breath. Even if this is difficult for you. Did you take any big risks? How have you grown as a person, as a human, as a soul? How have you grown? And when you're ready, we'll slowly open the eyes. Maybe reach for your journals again. There's something you just have to write down. You can get it down on your paper. We all know that gratitude works. I'm pretty sure you're not here because you don't know that. You know that gratitude works, so it feels pretty good too. So let's get all gushy for what we're grateful for from this past year. Maybe it's something that just came up for you. I'm grateful for. Write it down. I'm grateful for. It can be people, an experience, a lesson, something that just came up in your mini meditation. I'm grateful for, and let's take it one step further, because I'm grateful for because. And this can be like a huge long list if it's just flowing out of you right now. And if nothing's coming up for you, maybe you had a really hard year. Maybe you're just grateful because you're here today. Maybe you're just grateful because your heart is beating or that you have a breath in your lungs. That's okay too. There's space for it all. There's time and a season for it all. And we're all here working on ourselves and supporting one another too. So let's capture the major lessons that you've learned from this past year. It's just so we can make sure that we live from these lessons moving forward. Okay? Okay, so maybe we didn't get to all of our brilliant ideas over the past year. And I certainly didn't. I failed on most of my major goals. And I'm not ashamed to say that because that's life. That's what happens some years. And we may even have left some things unfinished with people, our work, our to-do list. That's okay. All of these unfinished, like loose ends, tend to take up energetic space in our bodies and leave us feeling anxious, maybe, or maybe constantly behind. No matter how much we might be moving forward, right? So I'm gonna give you some space to like brain dump any unfinished business, what you call unfinished business that you've had from this past year. And then if something comes up for you that's really, really big and you want to like consciously roll it over to the next year, like give it a star or a circle. So what I learned about whatever you learned about these major lessons that you've learned in 2023. Okay, just go ahead and write that down. And then what's left? What is left for you? And then you can just brain dump it. Unfinished business or big lessons. Just in lieu of time, I'm going to move on. I'm going to always come back, of course. We're going to move on to part 2. Okay, so that's like maybe take a big stretch, arms overhead, roll your shoulders backwards, take some deep breaths, maybe a sip of water. Okay, Bob Proctor, he says if you see it in your mind, you'll hold it in your hand. So let's get intentional. So, are you ready for another year of running around like a chicken with his head cut off and doing a bunch of stuff that means absolutely nothing to you? Of course not. No, thank you. That's why you're here, right? And like I said at the beginning, we can't get to where we're going if we don't know where we're starting. So being intentional with our lives means being intentional with our moments. And that requires us to get clear on what actually matters to us. So when I was sick, I had to figure out what was important to me. And from there, all of my decisions became a lot easier because I could hold it up to what mattered to me. And that's how you can define success. So all these definitions of success out there, you get to redefine your own success. Okay, so let's do this. Let's design a breakthrough life for 2024. So I know we just got out of this, but I'm going to ask you to get comfy and tall and just open one more time and close your eyes and just think about, and of course you don't have to do that. If you'd rather write it down, that's fine too. But what do you want to be, do, or have in 2024? Okay, this is the good stuff. Be, do, and have is a model by Stephen Covey, and it urges you to lead by example and embody what you want. So be, do, have is a mindset that's recommended all over for people who want success in achieving their biggest goals. So deep breath here. What do you want to be, do, or have? We've gotten rid of the limiting beliefs. We can be, we can do, we can have anything in 2024. What is it? What do I need to be in order to achieve my goals? What do I need to have in order to achieve my goals? What do I need to do in order to achieve my goals? Be, do, or have. What do you want to be, do, or have? What is that? This is going to be our foundation for 2024. So if your eyes were closed, you just can kind of like slowly open them. And I know you have a growth mindset because you're here. I know you're an extraordinary human being. And I know that it's not just what you say yes to that defines you, but it's also what you say no to. So every yes that you say to someone that is not in alignment with your values and your goals is saying no to you, no to your values, no to your goals. So like this people-pleasing, perfectionist, over-performing, over-responsibility, all of that stuff, all of those yeses are out of alignment with you and your values and your goals. So what are you going to say yes to in 2024 in order to be, do, and have whatever it is that you want to be, do, and have in 2024? What are you going to say yes to? Because sometimes you have to say no to create space for something new. Sometimes you have to say no before your yes even comes. You have to say no to create space for something new. You have to say no so that you can make yourself available to say yes. Your new yes. Your new yeses. So what will you say no to that has previously held power over you? Kept you from living the life that you truly want to live on purpose? You're saying yes to, and you're saying no to. There's another way to do this, and that's to outline stop, start, and continue. So you can have your yeses and your nos, or you can say, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop, using my example from before. I'm going to stop ignoring my body's urges to slow down and unplug. I know I don't need to earn rest. I know that I was designed for rest. So how can I bridge the gap? So I'm going to stop ignoring my body's urges to rest. I'm going to start asking my partner for success by having him help me, support me, and leaving things undone around the house when I need to relax. Okay, and I'm going to continue to check in with myself often to know what I need and when to speak up for my needs. So that's just an example of like the stop, start, continue. So it can be a no and a yes, or it can be a stop, start, continue. There's kind of two ways to do this. And this is the last little meditation. I'm just doing this, give your hands a break. Of course, you can journal. We're going to begin with the end in mind. Okay. So most people are just trying to get through another day. And it's no wonder that year after year passes and not much changes for them. But we're not those people. We have more awareness and intentionality than that, don't we? I know that because you're here. So when we live our todays with clear direction of where we're going, we have a much better shot at getting there. So let's close our eyes and find some grounding and lifting with our breath. So grounding down with the feet and this lightness of being. And just imagine in your mind's eye that you fast forwarded exactly 1 year. So it's this time next year, 1 year from today. I want you to imagine what your most powerful and purpose-packed year would look like. What did you achieve? What did it look like? Don't edit your imagination. Imagination is a powerful tool. We're going to use it to look at our best year yet, 2024. What does it look like a year from today? How did you make it happen? What kind of person did you become? Using all 5 of your senses, how does it feel? How has your life improved? Hang on to that. Take another deep breath. Open your eyes. We'll bridge the gap. So if you remember, about 40 minutes ago, we did a little evaluation. And now it's time to heartstorm on all the ideas and the goals that you have for each particular arena. This here is a circle of life I call the self-care spectrum. It's my #1 most used tool in my signature coaching program. And as you can see, it has 10 arenas. I grouped these together earlier a little bit differently in like categories. And we're going to use it a little differently than I normally do in my coaching program, but don't worry about like getting this right. Okay, this is where it gets messy. You're supposed to get messy. Let's grab your pen and write down your top goals that truly align with what matters most to you in each of the 10 arenas. I grouped them together in categories earlier, like I said, like connection category and career and money category, like that. I just want you to use the names around the outside of the spectrum right now. And if you write down more than one goal in each arena, that's fine. So just like get it out like a gold rush, okay? Or a gold rush. We're going to heartstorm the ideas and the goals that you have in each area. And just go for it. And what is your goal spiritually? Your goal in relationships or connection? What is your movement goal, your creativity goal? And if you don't have something that comes up for you, just it's fine. Just let it go. It'll come. It'll come if it's supposed to come. You're kind of complete. When you have more than one in each arena, like maybe you have a couple career goals or a couple environment, meaning like your home environment or your workspace or the people in your environment, that's okay. I'm going to ask you to just circle one. So in the categories where you have more than one, can you please circle one? And yes, that means just choose one. Just choose one. We're going to kind of niche down here just a little bit. You have your career goals, your nutrition goals. So this is nutrition on the plate. This is your food. You're eating at home. Your spirituality, your connection or relationships, your movement. Spirituality can be religion or not religion. Your creativity, your finances, your environment, and your health, whatever that means to you, your health and well-being, and your self-image. This is my self-care spectrum. We're going to move on. So we've just chosen one in each category, or just one in the category that you were able to write something, okay? Considering all the ideas, answer the following questions in choosing your best goal. So this is why we circled one. You're going to choose your very best goal that fits each of these questions. I'll read the questions out loud to you. And you can just kind of write down like, oh, this was my spirituality goal. This was my spirituality goal. This was my movement goal. Okay, so what feels most exciting to you? Which one of those top goals feels most exciting to you? This should be like quick, a gut check. What feels most important in your soul? Which one aligns with your definition of success? We define success for ourselves. Which one aligns with your definition of success? Which one will help you best reach your year-end ideal? I know this can be so hard to choose, but let's just pick one just for now and you'll see where we're going. What will get you to where you want to be when you're like 70 years old, 80, 100 years old? Which one is going to create the biggest impact for others? And which one absolutely scares you the freaking most? Like what one is like, too scary, too big? Now we're going to count up how many times a certain goal showed up in your answers. And these like 7 or 8 questions here. I think there's 7. Which one showed up the most? Based on how often you listed it here. We're going to hold on to this for a second. So grab onto this, like earmark it. And we're going to label it as your one thing. We're going to label it as your one thing for 2024. Step 3. Let's do another little stretch. We got our earmark. Woo! We've done some deep digging. You're so brave and vulnerable. This is so fantastic. Thank you for being here with me. Creating a vision for your life is so powerful. Most people won't do this. Most people don't dream anymore. This is like your wellness vision for you. And there's a Japanese proverb that says, a vision without an action plan is like a daydream. And an action without a vision, doing stuff like driving all over the map, not knowing where you're going, that's a nightmare. So some research shows that 60% of people abandon their resolutions within the first 6 months. 25% of the people will abandon a resolution in 7 days. 7 days. Fortunately, we're not those people, right? We are not one of those people, or we are choosing to not be those people anymore. And I'm here to make it easier for you. So if you're bursting with desire and just ready to commit and take action towards your dreams and create a prosperous 2024, it means nothing if you don't take action. You have to take powerful, brave action, even if it's tiny little shifts. So far we've looked back at 2023 with acknowledgement, and we've closed the year, and we've created crystal clear purpose for 2024. Like we know what our top goals are, and we know what that just one thing is. And we're inspired, right? Do you feel inspired? I do. I've been taking my notes down over here. So can I share with you how I can help get you to where you want to go? Would that be okay with you? Okay. So just to touch on this a little bit, my signature program is like concierge coaching. It's one-on-one tailored coaching sessions. It's proven support to help you stay focused and accountable. We clear obstacles for rapid progress towards your goals once and for all. And it's transformation where you truly want to live, or where you truly want it to live a purposeful life. This is what I do in my 6-month program. So I've been helping women overcome obstacles for almost 4 years now to make radical transformations in their lives. One small shift at a time. We earmarked one thing. And normally this investment is 6 months. And that's because 6 months is science backed, so we can work together through the ups and downs. The cost of this program is $2,400. I'm just telling you what I normally do. Some people have asked me for options, so that's what we're here to do. So let's take a look at what one of my clients says about working with me. This is from Lori. And she says, Netty, help me hit my top goals to clean up my nutrition, increase my physical activity, improve my sleep quality. She's helped me improve my ability to celebrate each milestone towards better health, no matter how big or small. She's offered ideas for food substitutions that were cleaner and beneficial for me from a health center point, motivating me to working out several times each week, and holding me accountable for offering me strategies for decreasing stress and anxiety to improve my sleep quality at night. And to give you an idea what that feels like, I want to offer you one more thing. I want to actually cover one of the first steps that we would take if we were working one-on-one together for meaningful change. Does that sound good? Awesome. So in Gary Keller's fantastic book called The One Thing, he shares how transformative it is to stop trying to do all the things and just focus on one thing at a time. Science now backs this up with the conclusion that multitasking is a myth. It's really just moving from one task to the other and never really utilizing all of our energy to focus on completion with excellence. So let's take heed and let's make what we said matters most to us the one thing to focus on achieving first. So in your first month, if we were working together in your first month, we're going to look at your just one thing, the thing that you earmarked, and don't think of this as your only goal. I know you have more goals than that. You're ambitious, driven people, but it's going to be your top priority to focus on. So once you knock this out of the park, you can come back and tackle the other ones with the same level of intensity, focus, and energy. So let's take your one thing and break it down for the coming month. And we're not going to break it down for the year because things shift and evolve, like my example from this past year. And as soon as we get into action, we get in the game. The sooner we get into action, the sooner you get in the game. So we'll be reassessing this little target at the end of our first 30 days in the game. And this is how we'll do it. So just your one thing. What is your one thing? And we take this one thing in your mind's eye. You can take it on a piece of paper. If you were to accomplish that one thing that we just marked down, list four goals, 4 mini goals, tasks, groups, things. What would you add if you had these 4 things? How would they add up to your major goal for yourself? Your big dream, your just one thing. So we're going to take our one big thing and break it down into 4 goals that we can do our one thing with. Because we are what we repeatedly do, right? We've got to focus on how we're going to achieve this week by week. So it's time to put into place some success rituals that you'll set up for an extraordinary life so that you can achieve your goal. So it's important to note that I use the word ritual. Okay, this doesn't have to mean anything spiritually or religiously. I use the word ritual because it's intentional. It's not a habit or routine, because when we get into habitual routine living, we lose the reverence for the activity and it just becomes another item we have to tick off our list. Okay, a ritual, on the other hand, it's something bigger. We show up with a certain level of presence and respect and intention because we know how much it adds to the quality of our life. So we have a big goal. What are 4 smaller goals that we can do to achieve that big goal? If we add up all 4 of those goals, it would mean we've achieved our big dream, our one thing. So we're going to look at some rituals that we can create that are not only doable, they have to be doable, they have to be accomplishable, and they'll support making fundamental changes in your life. These can be daily or weekly, but they're going to add up to those 4 mini goals to lead to your big dream at the end of this month. So we choose one big thing. We broke it down into 4 goals, or you're breaking it down into 4 goals. And then we're going to break the 4 goals down into action steps, like your rituals, daily, weekly, to get this dream into reality. So don't choose more than 5 action steps. So think of it as a ratio 1, 4, 5, 1 dream, 4 goals, 5 actions. So 5 actions for each of the 4 goals. So that's actually 20 action steps. If you need that many, you might not. And those 4 goals are going to add up to your dream. Be sure to choose what works for you and what you'll actually do. Otherwise, it's not going to come into fruition. And we're going to be one of those people that doesn't get our dream. Okay, 1, 4, 5, 1 goal, 1 dream, 4 goals, 5 actions for each of those 4 goals. 1, 4, 5, and you might need to take some time on this. So go ahead, and I'm going to read you a little testimonial teaser from another one of my clients, Alyssa. And I'm reading this one on purpose because she chose her one thing and implemented it into every arena of her life on that self-care spectrum. Netty met me with compassion, and I truly felt seen and worthy. She spent the time to dig deep with me to help me really understand why I responded and operate the way I do, so that she could then curate an action plan for healing and change. The biggest tangible change I've noticed since beginning the program, and Alyssa has actually graduated and continues to work with me, has been the reduction in stress response or fight and flight in my body. The fact that my body is legitimately acting more rested despite increasing pressures is a testament to Netty's ability. And thank you, Alyssa, for that. I would offer that it's a testament to your ability to be ready and willing to receive. And the key that kept Alyssa going to get here is she started with her why. So now that we've gotten clarity on our one thing and our rituals to help achieve it, we have to know our why. Know why it's important. Know why you want to continue to work towards this goal. And we touched on this briefly a little bit, but what is our why? What is your why? And our why is what keeps us moving with momentum, even when we don't feel like it. It's the anchor that keeps us grounded when we want to go off course. So why does this goal, why does this one thing matter to you? What will it look like in your life once it's accomplished? How will you feel? What will that generate for you? What will happen if you don't achieve this goal? What will it cost you? So what's your why? You can go ahead and write it down, draw it out. Maybe you do this on a separate piece of paper, what your why is. And while you're doing that, let's check back in Alyssa and see how she got from overworked and undernourished as a solo mompreneur to more rested and joyful, despite actually doubling her end of year goal for her business. Alyssa pinpointed her why and kept it front of mind. And this is what she says: the most significant overall change I've noticed has been my understanding of my identity of the daughter of the king. This knowledge, along with the guidance to realign my priorities in a way ordained by the Lord, has allowed me to show up as the best version of myself for my family, my clients, and my community, and to do it from a place of rest. Netty truly worked a miracle in my life and is doing kingdom work. So her why was obedience and service, regardless of her role and her task in life. So you're writing down your why. And I encourage you to put this somewhere you can see it, maybe like a sticky note on your bathroom mirror or by your computer, so you can read it daily for a little extra motivation to keep you on target. It is my sincere desire for you to live your life on purpose, with clarity and deep intention, because I know that a purpose person with purpose, lit up from within, creates a more loving and joyful world for themselves and everyone in their circle, every one of us. I hope that you enjoyed this process of digging in and designing your most incredible 2024. And I invite you to come back to this experience that you created for yourself often and approach it brand new, like a beginner's mindset. This can be like an incredible jumpstart to any new chapter, not just a new year that you're navigating your life. You all have asked for more options. You can always come back to this experience, but I'm here and I want to help you. I can't wait to help you. So I'm going to offer you 3 opportunities to work with me in this new year. As for options, here's the 3-way. This is my classic. We've already touched on it, my signature program. This is like evergreen. If you want a mentor and a guide in your life to take you from where you are to where you want to be in a way that's really powerful and lasting, you could just send me a personal message if this is what you're interested in. But today I've got something that I've never offered before. And you're the very first people because you're here with me to get this opportunity. And this is the option that I've been hearing a lot of. So this is a New Year reNEWed package, and it's an accelerated program. So this is going to be for you if you need a kickstart to 2024. So you can get, I'm going to guarantee you a 6-week shift at 60% off my pricing for the new year at $1,234. I love a good angel number. So you'll get 6 weekly sessions, unlimited support between sessions with some boundaries, of course, and a digital copy of my ebook. And this is for you if you are like, I am breaking cycles. I've got my plan. The time is right now, but you just need a little encouragement and accountability, maybe some guidance on retainer to reach your goals and really own your life. And you just need to like ring the bell for help. I will say there's only 5 of these available because it's going to be really powerful for 6 weeks. I'm going to actually put the link for this in the chat. You're going to get it in your email anyway. So it's in the chat, and you'll get the link in your email, of course, like I said. And these are paid in full prices. So you can reach out to me separately if you need a payment plan or a specialized option, because I actually believe in what I'm offering you and I know that I can support you. So also included in this is a money back guarantee, 100%. If we meet after the first session, before we meet for the second session, if this is not your jam, I'm going to give you all of your money back. So that first session will be free. Okay. But maybe, I'm not sure how this works. You'd like some private one-on-one time, maybe a discovery call with me. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so here I'm just reaching out to you to say if this was really powerful for you and you need more support, you're like, I'm reclaiming me, I'm worth it, let's go. But I'm not sure if we vibe. I'm going to offer five people 40 minutes to collaborate with me. You know, every top achiever in this world has help, and you're calling in your ultimate support system right now. Let me see if we're a fit. So I'm opening up my calendar to the first 5 people because I understand that it's hard to take that first step when you're uneasy. So I'm going to give you the link. This is if you want a free session with me, just a free discovery call. Because you're here with me, I'm offering this to you too. You're not ready to take that leap, or maybe you're just a little bit uneasy. Here's the link. The link is in the little chat here. So you have your vision, and where people get stuck is they're not sure what to do with the vision. And this is how I can help. Okay. So now you're sitting here with some opportunity, and I just want to ask you, what if this is the catalyst that gave you the confidence to take action towards your desires? What if a little support and accountability got you there, allowed you to build that impactful life you've been wishing for? What if it empowers you to be the very best version of yourself starting right now? I have my chat open. You can ask me questions here. What if coaching gave you the healthiest, most abundant year yet? Would it be worth it? Would it be worth the cost and the time? And I'm telling you, I promised that I would tell you in the email this morning that there's one thing that you need to do this year. And just like me, it's not more. The world's going to tell you it's more. You need to do more. You need to have more. You need to be more. And I'm going to tell you that the one thing that you need to do this time of year is to retreat and rest and draw in and create a plan. So you know where you're going. You know your one thing. And you know your why, which is all the work that we've done here today. You know the direction you're going in. So all you need to do now is just plan. That's it. Take some sweet, sweet time for yourself in these next few days. So you have until January 1st to take advantage of one of these opportunities to work with me. You'll get a few emails, including my replay, and you just need to decide how much of a yes you will be in your wellness vision and how much support that you want to call in for lasting and powerful change lit up from within in 2024. You can start your program anytime until in January, but the deal is going to expire when the fall drops. So know that I'm always going to be here for you, whether you take advantage of this deal or not. And while you're thinking about it, I'll have one more testimony from Christy, who was one of the very first people to complete my signature health coaching program. And this is what she had to say. Netty is a blessing, a wise, patient, very gifted God. She's trustworthy and kind. She helped me find myself at a time when I was feeling very lost, and I will be forever grateful. Through this time, I found my voice, and after some real and suppressed trauma, and began establishing, through this time, I found my voice after some very real and suppressed trauma, began establishing negotiables and non-negotiables for myself. We did that here today, didn't we? And at every turn, Netty listened and essentially held up a mirror for me. She recommended resources, helped me mark my progress, and celebrated my growth. We even did that a little bit today too. So you did it. Thank you again so much for being here. You gave yourself the space and the time to pause for reflection, but don't stop here. If now's not a time for investment financially, that's okay. I'll still offer you the free discovery call, and you can always find me on LinkedIn and Instagram and Facebook. 90% of what I give away is free. My coaching is free. So just keep coming back to this, because there's no one else in this world that is like you. The world is waiting for only what you can do in this next year. You have no idea what's in store for you, but you have dreams and you have a why. And you have those for a reason. You do deserve to have the best year of your life. You are brave enough to start. You can get the clarity to know what you want. And I know you did a little bit of that today. And you do have the courage to go after it. I'll be here cheering for you every step in the way. You've been a blessing to me. And in case it's not clear, I believe in you. I believe in you. In case no one has told you that today, this week, this year, ever, I believe in you. I believe in your ability to create the life that you deserve. And I wish you many, many blessings in the year to come. Go out and make 2024 a powerful new year. Thank you, thank you, thank you.